The West Ham Massive are pleased to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham fans and friends inspired by the work of other football food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations for a Newham Food Bank in Beckton, who supplies 7 distribution centres in the borough 7 days a week and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thanks for your support. Come on, you Irons. Good morning. Welcome to the West Ham Massive. Thanks for joining me. As I always implore you guys to do, please don't forget to like, comment on and share this stream to your social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure you hit the bell icon and click all for alerts and new content. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much indeed for your support in this matter. I'm also going to get a little bit of housekeeping out the way because I might let out the occasional swear word here. It's quite an emotive topic for me, this one. And I dare say it might be for a few of you watching. And there might be some of you watching live or some of you that watch latterly. If you're watching latterly, there's a comment section below. Please get stuck in. And those that are watching live, please jump in on the live chat. I'd be really interested to know your thoughts on this. But yeah, I might let the odd swear word out, and if I do, and if it offends you, you might want to, go and do something else, go and put up a shelf or something. Right, that's that bit out the way. So yesterday, I did a few little bits and pieces. I'm off this week, and you might have seen I made an appearance on Hammers Chat with Gonzo for the Arsenal preview. That was very nice of him to invite me on. Buzzing around doing a few little bits and pieces after that, and then there was something that popped up on my phone to say that Divine Mubama has been offered an extension of his current deal, which, and this is the bit I was a little bit confused by, because my initial information was that we had an option to extend it by a year. I'm now being led to believe that that actually isn't the case, and that is very reminiscent of another player, and he's mentioned in the thumbnail, you've seen him, Sonny Perkins. Now, I remember that there was whispers going around that there was an extension in the deal that we had with Sonny Perkins, and so the story that he had a year left to run, and then sort of like, oh no, there's an option to extend it. Oh, okay, well that's not so bad then, that's fine. And then 5 minutes later, we're finding out that that was a complete load of bollocks, and he was off to Leeds United. Okay, fine. And now here we are again, 12, 18 months later, another youth player, another striker, promising young player coming through from the academy. And now we're hearing the same thing, oh yeah, he's got a year's extension. We can activate at any time. Oh, no, he hasn't actually. Which means he's going to be pissing off at the end of the season. And as things stand at the minute, we better offer him a new contract. I think he's played 24 minutes of first-team football this season. And I sort of sit there and I go, well, shouldn't we have got this sorted out long since? The kid's probably sort of like been sitting there thinking, he's been promoted to the first-team squad. His squad numbers moved up from whatever it was last season. I think it was 76 or something like that. He's now squad number 45, which, I think when your squad number starts to sort of like increase incrementally, it sort of like says that you're getting closer to the first team. He's involved in squads here and there. And sort of like, he could have gone out on loan in the summer. He could have gone out on loan, and we could have extended his contract at that point and said, right, the plan is you're going to go out, you're going to play league football against men, you're going to get tested, We'll extend your deal by another 12 months, 18 months, whatever, and see how you go from there. Okay, fine, not a problem. We've not done any of that. And now here we are in this situation where we've got this young kid who last season, was part of a team that swept all before them, as pretty much. They won the FA Premier League to South Division. They won the FA Youth Cup. They obviously played Manchester City in the North-South playoff. They came up short in that, but that's no real sort of, not on another day that could have gone in the opposite direction. As far as he's concerned, I mean, I've just been having a little look, and this is according to Transfer Market. Now, as I say, I make the direct comparison between Divine Mubama and Sonny Perkins because, as I say, both youth academy products, both strikers, both we were told had an option for an extra year. Both statements were complete bullshit. And Sonny Perkins went on to Leeds United. He's currently on loan at Oxford. And it's one of those. I mean, there are going to be some people that say, well, hang on, if he's at Oxford, then he probably wasn't actually as good as maybe you make him out to be. Well, who knows what would have happened if he would given an opportunity? And when I say an opportunity, I'm talking a proper opportunity in the first team squad. To come on, to make a difference in games that mean something, with an amount of time where he can actually reasonably do something. Not 5 minutes here, 3 minutes there, in a game that is already long since decided. It's no value in it as far as I'm concerned. Just looking at Sonny Perkins' record, right? If we include everything, so I'm talking under 18s Premier League, I'm talking the EFL trophy, I'm talking, European football, whatever, right? And this is also for Leeds United and for Oxford. So far in his career, 89 matches, 35 goals, 9 assists. He's played 6,503 minutes. This is according, as I say, to Transfer Market. If we now then sort of like make a side-by-side comparison with Divine Mubama's record, let's say, including everything, FA Youth Cup, you name it, he has got 94 appearances, 55 goals, 8 assists, 6,554 minutes played. This is a kid that really needs to be involved properly in the first team squad for me. And the fact that we could be losing this kid for nothing at the end of the season, for me, is another nail in the coffin for the Academy of Football, in my opinion. I've long since had a bit of a problem with the Academy of Football being emblazoned on the side of the pitch at London Stadium. Because for me, I think it's an absolutely bogus tag. It's erroneous. We shouldn't, if we're gonna put that on the fucking ground in full view of everyone, in the whole view of the world, not just the people in the stadium, but those images go around the world, right? The Academy of Football. And we're not fucking looking like that under this manager, right? And I know people could turn around and go, oh, yes, but he gave Wayne Rooney his debut. That was 20 odd years ago. And I think you'd struggle to find too many other candidates, too many other examples of David Moyes actually bringing through into the first team squad any sort of youth talent and giving them a proper opportunity, whether that's 20 games or whatever, 20 games, 50 games, whatever. Wayne Rooney was an exception, but Wayne Rooney was a world-class talent. And Wayne Rooney is since on record as saying that David Moyes wanted to hold him back more than he did. And it was only pressures from other players and this, that, and the other that actually made David Moyes break and give him a proper opportunity. If it had been David Moyes, Wayne Rooney would have probably been waiting on the substitutes bench for another 2 fucking years. And he might have even then thought, fuck this, I'm off, and sort of done one. And this is the thing with me, we've got this tag, and I'm pretty sure that, we use that tag in merchandise, so the club makes money off of it, and we're not living up to it. We're not even looking like we're trying to live up to the Academy of Football tag. And here we go again, Sonny Perkins 2.0. It's happening again before our very eyes. Another example, you look, we played a back four against Dinamo Zagreb, last game of the Europa League 2 seasons ago, that consisted entirely of youth team players, right? They all come through the academy. Now, I thought on the night, and those of you that will remember this, I thought on the night that Harrison Ashby was, in my opinion, man of the match, right? There was a lot of people that said actually it was the guy on the other flank because Harrison Ashby played at right back. The guy playing at left back that night was a young man by the name of Emmanuel Longello. I think it was arguable either way, but those two were the standout products. Okay. Most people agreed that they were the two players that were the standout products. You also had at centre back, you had Adji Alese and you had Jamal Baptiste. Jamal Baptiste went latterly to Manchester City, and he's, I understand, now on loan in Belgium with a club called Lommel. Adji Alese, he was at centre back alongside him. He's currently playing in the Championship for Sunderland. This season, he's played 20 matches in the Championship, right? Emmanuel Longello, he's currently at Birmingham and he's played 12 matches in the Championship. This season, he played 23 last season. Now, who's to say? I mean, people could turn around to me and say, well, yeah, but they're Championship level players, Rob. Well, I don't accept that because maybe if they'd have had the opportunity, and this is all about opportunity, right? You get given an opportunity, and it's then up to you to grab it or to not grab it at that point, and you've only got yourself to blame afterwards. I get that, but I don't really see they're given much of an opportunity. I mean, Emmanuel Longello, for example, right? What opportunity was he given after that? He played in a dead rubber game. A lot of people said he was man of the match. What opportunities did he get from that point on? Oh, that's right, he didn't. Okay. And then we fuck him off out the door. And oh, what have we got as far as left back's concerned? Well, we've got an old man in Aaron Cresswell, who's quite far down the other side of the hill. He can still do a job. He did a job the other day. I'm being a little bit harsh on him, but let's be honest. He's got more days behind him than he has ahead. We've obviously brought in Emerson. He's done well, but we could have actually done with an Emmanuel Longello, couldn't we? As a sort of like a backup option and maybe the heir apparent in the long term, give him opportunities. But we've kicked him off out the door. And like I say, here we go again with Divine Mubama. He will probably end up going to a championship club and scoring goals at that level. And who knows, he could come back to haunt us. Maybe he won't. But we pride ourselves, and guys of my age, right? I'm in my sort of like, I'm heading towards my 50s now. And I go back to an era where we did regularly produce players from the youth team into the first team, the likes of Tony Cottee, the likes of Alan Dickens, the likes of Paul Ince, sorry for swearing, the likes of Stuart Slater, Danny Williamson's another one. On and on it goes. And then you had the batch of Rio Ferdinand, Frank Lampard Jr., again, sorry for swearing, Michael Carrick, Joe Cole. These players that all came through into the first team were given an opportunity, a proper opportunity by a manager that bought into the ethos of the club, which was the Academy of Football. We are the Academy of Football. We had a manager at that time, managers, all down those years that bought into that ethos. Now, I don't see that we do. Now, I see that all we've got is a manager. And it's also tied in with the fact that we have the oldest squad in the Premier League. The two things I think are not a coincidence. We've got a manager that has an old squad, the oldest in the Premier League, and we've also got a manager that when you look at the amount of players that he's brought through in his entire career, not just at West Ham, let's extend it out and go, okay, who's he given his debut to? Who's he? And I'm not talking in dead rubber games. I'm not talking in games against Dinamo Zagreb or FCSB, both of which were dead rubber games. Oh, he gave his debut to Ollie Scholes. Right, okay. And Ollie Scholes played really fucking well that night. Yeah? What other opportunity has Ollie Scholes had in the first team from that day, which is basically a year ago, and this? I can't remember any. And therein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem. You've had a kid that's come into the first team. He was given an opportunity and he grabbed it with both hands and he played really well. And a lot of people say he was the man of the match that night. Again, it's all a matter of opinions. But what opportunity was he given after that? And we have had problems at left back intermittently from that time to this. He can also play on the left wing, whatever. What opportunities has he been given? None. Precisely none, right? And don't give me all this bullshit about, oh yeah, but he's not ready. How do you know? He went in a European game away from home, hostile atmosphere against a club who once upon a time were champions of Europe. That was, I'm sure, a very intimidating situation for him, and he rose to the challenge. Where has he been since? Which kind of says to me that David Moyes doesn't buy into the youth. He just doesn't. He gave Wayne Rooney his debut all those years ago. He gave Ross Barkley his debut all those years ago. He gave Adnan Januzaj his debut all those years ago. Now, can you tell me, with those three players aside, any other player that he has given his debut to and given opportunities consistently to shine in matches that meant something? I can't. Maybe you can. Maybe you can prove me wrong. But I think that all the time we have got David Moyes as the manager, and this is not a conversation about our situation at the minute. This is not a conversation about we're doing well in the Premier League, we're not doing well in the Premier League, we've won the Conference League, it was a dog shit trophy, blah, blah, blah. It's none of those things. This is purely, I am talking about the Academy of Football tag. We have got that tag, and we have a manager that doesn't subscribe to that narrative. We just don't. We've got a manager, all he's interested in is just getting the result on a Saturday, which is important. Don't misunderstand me. But I think that aligned with that, weaved into that, we need to have a manager that lives up to the Academy of Football tag. Otherwise, why have we got it on the fucking carpet at London Stadium? Why do we have it on merchandise that we kick out to people and take their money? The Academy of Football, West Ham United. Really? Really? More evidence of this came out yesterday when Divine Mubama says, actually, I'm looking at what I've got opportunities wise here, and this doesn't work for me. It absolutely doesn't. That coming a year, 18 months after Sonny Perkins, another striker, is just evidence to me that this is broken. This is broken as far as our club is concerned. This is, and can it be repaired? I believe that with the right manager, and when that comes about, I don't know. But we need to get. I think with David Moyes, he is what he is, right? We're not going to change him unless we get a world class talent coming through from the academy, like Wayne Rooney was. Then I think that the chances of him actually bringing that player through into the first team and giving them a proper opportunity, a proper opportunity, is virtually zero. Okay. And the evidence is there. Look before your eyes. Forget the fact that statistically he is our best Premier League manager in terms of win percentage. Forget the fact that he won us our first European trophy since 1965 and our first trophy period since 1980. I'm not talking about that. I'm purely talking about his adherence to the Academy of Football tag. He doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. And for me, I think that is a dereliction of duty, primarily of David Moyes, but also of the people that hired him. Because surely that should have been a conversation that was had. And if it wasn't, as I say, that is a dereliction of duty of whoever it was that brought him in, whether it was Karen Brady, the late David Gold, David Sullivan, whoever it was that said David Moyes is the guy we want to get in as the next West Ham manager when Pellegrini's time was up. If that wasn't a conversation, shame on you. That is pure dereliction of duty. That is poor due diligence. Might as well just get the Academy of Football tag, scrunch it up into a ball, and chuck it in the nearest fucking bin you can find, because it is a complete waste of carpet on the side of the pitch at the London Stadium. Now, maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe I'm being harsh. Maybe I'm going over the top. Maybe I'm a dinosaur. Maybe those days of having your own youth system where you churned out talent and saved yourself money, right? Because We're not one of the clubs that have got billions and billions. We haven't got a multi-billionaire Arab benefactor that can throw around sort of like £500 million budgets in a transfer window like they're going out of fashion. That's not how we operate. So we have to do things differently. We have to maybe sort of produce our own talent and sort of like cut our cloth accordingly. And we've done that all down the years until very, very recently. And we've now got a manager that, despite the fact the Academy of Football's working fine. Let me get that across, okay? The Academy of Football itself is working fine. There is no problem with the Academy of Football in and of itself. As I say, the evidence is there last season in what they won. The Academy of Football is doing its job. It is producing young talent. The problem is the guy in charge of the first team isn't giving that product, that promise, that player any sort of opportunity in and around the first team squad, let alone the first 11, right? How many times have you seen it on a match day squad where you've got 2 fucking goalkeepers? What is that all about? How many times in Premier League history has a squad, as a match day squad, needed to utilise 3 goalkeepers? It's very rare that you have to utilise 2. To utilise 3, I think that of all the matches that have been played going back to 1992, since the inception of the Premier League, the amount of times that has happened has been vanishingly thin, right? So why not put a youth team player? Personally, I mean, and Gillingham do this, which is a club not too far from where I live. Gillingham have got this thing now where I think I read it was 25% of the match day squad, they make a commitment will be youth team players. Now, that's not to say that they're necessarily going to play. They don't go as far as that. But I remember reading it not so long ago on the Kent Messenger. They make a commitment that it will be 20, 25%. I can't remember what the number was. I think it was 25%, might be 20 of the match day squad will be youth team players. And we just have it littered with a mixture of has-beens, old farts, perpetually injured players, and we've got a bunch of kids who swept all before them last season, and they're not fucking involved. I can't work it out. Anyway, I'm going to disappear there. Guys, that's just my thoughts on it, but it's happening again. Divine Mubama is Sonny Perkins 2.0, and it needs to change. Will it? With all the time we've got David Moyes in charge? Probably not. Probably not. But that's just my thoughts on it. Guys, please don't forget to like, comment on, and share the stream to your social media platforms, and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell icon for alerts of new content. Thank you very much indeed for your support. I will just really quickly just whiz through. There's been a couple of comments that have come in while I've been waffling away. I'm just going to do them real quick. Ken, hope you're well, mate. Thanks for your contribution. I believe Divine is much better than Perkins. Should have been loaned if not given game time. Freddie Potts is flourishing at Wickham on loan, getting great experience. Absolutely, I believe in the loan market. But I think that we don't do it like Chelsea do. Chelsea loan players out and they get the player to sign an extension to their deal before they do. We don't do that. Poor due diligence for me. Mark, how you doing, mate? It made me laugh recently when I looked back at an interview Moyes gave after he was sacked by Man U. He said one of the reasons they employed him was his record of bringing young players through. What an absolute fucking joke. Kent comes back. Zola gets stick from the fans, but Stanislas, Hines, Tompkins, Collison all got time under him. Okay, Curbs gives Jack and James debut, but Zola put them fully in the team. Yeah, he did. He did. I'll give him his dues for that, you know. But this manager doesn't, mate. This manager absolutely doesn't. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. I'm going to disappear. I'm going to start my my Tuesday. I'll see you soon. Come on, you Irons, and please don't forget to give your support to the Iron Supporting Food Banks charity. I'll see you next time. Take care. The West Ham Massive are pleased to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham fans and friends inspired by the work of other football food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations for a Newham food bank in Beckton, who supplies 7 distribution centres in the borough 7 days a week and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thanks for your support. Come on, you Irons.